Y'all, what it do, y'all? This is the Bread Tuck Legacy podcast. This is the Bread Tuck Legacy podcast, man. I'm your host, Christopher Robinson. I'm your host, Bread Tuck Rob, man. And I have my co-host with me, Unique B from the Broke
Bitch.
podcast on YouTube, man. Unique, how you doing?
Yes, I am good. How are you today?
I'm well. I see you getting ready for Easter Sunday. You're going to
Of
have the hair
course, of
laid.
course.
But see,
You already know.
you keep the hair together. Because last week you had the braids and you had just put the braids in. Now we doing something else, and that's only been a week, you see?
Hey, you gotta keep it. You gotta keep it right. But you know it's Easter Sunday, so I had to switch it up.
Switch it up for Jesus. Switch it up for Jesus. Yeah.
Won't he
Switching
do
up
it?
for Jesus, man. It's all right. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm wearing a polo shirt and some jeans for Easter.
Oh wow. Hey, Jay Berry.
Yeah, hey, Jay Berry, how you doing, Jay Berry? Jay Berry. Wait, is that Jay Berry that was at the event?
Yup, that's her.
My partner Jay Berry in the building, man. I got my partner, man. Man, Unique, you sent me an article. Before we get into that article, let me ask you this. Are you keeping up with the Remy Ma situation? I started to text you about this. I didn't text you.
Oh, are you talking about where what's the girl's name? Said that Remy Ma beat her up?
Yeah.
I caught a glimpse of it. I haven't kept up with it. If you
Okay.
want to discuss it or you want to inform me, I'm more than happy to discuss it.
I mean, pretty much, and I should have sent you the article, and we don't have to stay on it too
It's
long.
okay.
But pretty much,
Let's go.
Remy Ma supposedly, she went to a benefit, a charity benefit for a terror squad member. Fat Joe was there, different terror squad people were there. And one of the women from Love and Hip Hop, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop anymore, but one of the women were there, and supposedly the woman owed Remy Ma $1,000. And I guess Remy Ma ain't get her money, so she went ahead and punched the girl in the eye. Now, same thing I said, Unique, because have this happened with anybody else, you know, maybe we could figure it out. But your girl Remy Ma is on probation, huh?
Right.
She just did about 6 years in the penitentiary, Unique. And she just had a child, right?
Right. She's a new mom.
Not only that, you know, her and Papoose, you know, my boy Papoose held it down.
Black Love.
Yeah, for 6 years.
Right.
Now, but she jeopardized, if this is true, it might not be true, I don't know. But if this is true, she is jeopardizing her freedom over $1,000. Or some may say over the principle. You know, because in the streets, if you owe me money, I can't just let you just be walking out here free, you know, doing what you want to do and you owe me money. Where are you at with that, Unique?
I have a lot of questions about it, just based off the information you just gave me. She is a new mom, and she has already said that her mentality has changed. I do watch Love and Hip Hop. I do see the way that she carries herself and everything. But like she said when she first got out, people like to try you. I don't believe that she would attack someone over $1,000 because she has music deals. Papoose has like that's worth way more than $1,000. So why would I jeopardize everything, including being away from my baby girl? Or that makes no sense. But it doesn't add up. Now, do I believe that people tried to get physical, and she defended herself? Absolutely, because she comes off as the type that you're not gonna. You got one more again, as some people say. You got one more time. Like, you keep trying me.
I'm a grown man, and I wouldn't play with Remy Ma. All right, you got it.
You got it. You good, right? And that's what I'm saying. I think that when she got out, knowing that she was on probation, I think that some people did take her as weak and play her for weak, and probably came at her in some ways that they shouldn't have. I don't know the situation. I would definitely have to do more research, but sounds to me like something's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Mm-hmm.
information is being skipped over.
Jay Berry say again? Yeah. Remy
We
Ma,
don't know. We
you know,
don't know. She laying
and
hands.
and you know what, Unique? I like Remy Ma. Let me tell you, I don't watch the Love and Hip Hop, but I watch her on Joe Budden's show, State of the Culture,
The
and
culture, yeah.
I like the way she delivers information. I thought she had was stepping into a new light. You know, she was in a new world. But if
Hmm.
this is true,
Right,
you
right,
know,
right.
this isn't good. Now, the question I want to ask you, Unique, in a situation like that, how would
Mm.
you handle that?
Well, you and I both know my past,
Mm-hmm.
but but me now, knowing that I am a mother now,
It's important.
um, it's very important. I want to be around for my kids. I wouldn't $1,000. No. Now, like what was that? This past year, like what's his name? His IG name is Dusko Poppington.
Oh, my
Dame
boy
Dash.
Dame Dash. Yeah, that's my guy.
Now, the way he came for
For Lee Daniels. Yeah.
yes. Now, that is definitely my persona. Hey, Playboy, you owe me a lot. Well, but he owed a lot more than a
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
thousand
that's
dollars.
life
You get
changing money.
right. She's
Ooh,
getting paid more than that per episode of
great point.
Love and Hip Hop. Like I said, I think it's some information missing that
Mm,
people are, leaving out, and I think there's going to be more to come. And I
mm,
think that's why Remy has not responded. Because I did check her page after I saw the little post. She didn't say nothing about it. So I think that's why she hasn't responded. I think there's a lot more to it. But like I
mm,
said, I also think that some people like to try you now when they think
mm.
that, I don't know. I think there's more to it. If she did it, it's a lot more to it than what people are saying. And I don't
Okay.
get the point in messing with somebody's freedom, especially somebody who just had a baby. Like,
Yeah.
that don't make sense. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Remy Martin, we pray that this isn't true, or maybe there's more information to
Right.
make this to where it keeps you free, because your
Right.
freedom is important, especially when you have kids.
Right. Right. Right.
I gotta be here for my daughter. So
Definitely.
me knowing that it's important for me to be here for my daughter, man, I gotta let you make it on a few things, man. I may not want to, but I gotta let you make it on a few things, you know.
Definitely.
But Unique, you
Yes.
sent me an article. I want to
Mm-hmm.
say Wednesday, about the young man burning down the black churches. Explain that article a little bit for me.
So, this past weekend, 3 black churches in Louisiana were burned.
Hmm.
There was not a lot of press about it. However, when the Cathedral of Notre Dame was burned down in Paris, that was everywhere.
Mm.
Prayers to Paris. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, when are we going to start looking at this as the way that it is? A white boy, son of a deputy sheriff,
Yeah, sheriff.
yeah,
Yeah.
went and set flame to 3 churches and then stayed and watched him. And not once it took a while for him to be caught, which I don't understand. This is within the last 5 years, we've lost a lot of black churches.
Mm.
And so at what point do we say that this is terrorism? At what point do we realize the level of that our level of race relations in America is getting horrible? I
Mm.
mean, ridiculously horrible. And when do we hold the media responsible for their lack of presenting issues within the African American culture, within the African American community, I apologize, that are actually affecting us.
Hmm.
Now, there's always this downplay of things that are happening with our community. Oh, they're complaining about nothing. They don't all this, all that, you know. But when it's one thing, and like I said, nothing against Notre Dame and the people of Paris, and they have been, they're very big actually on Black history. So I mean,
Hmm.
I don't want to take that away from it. They're very. If you remember, the original Statue of Liberty was a gift from France, and it was
Unique be
curvaceous.
giving us history right
Well, I
now
mean,
on the
this is the
podcast.
facts. They did not want the statue that was given because it was a woman who was curvier with a wider nose and things like that. They didn't want that. They didn't
Hmm.
want it. Keep in mind that when Josephine Baker was being persecuted here in the U.S., she ran to France
Hmm.
and made her money and her living there. So, I mean, it's nothing against France. It's just that when do we level up and have our issues shown on an equal and level playing field as the other
Hmm.
race? That's all I'm asking.
You know that Josephine, when you said Josephine Baker,
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I think HBO did a movie on her like back in '93 with Lynn
And
Winfield
then
playing her.
Whitfield,
That's
yep,
why I
yeah.
remember that name. But
Mm-hmm.
I think as Black people, now, after reading that article, Unique, I saw that the boy was recording stuff for social
Yeah,
media and taking pictures. I'm
he
like, what is he
actually put
doing?
he put himself in each situation of all three of those church fires.
Mm.
He made sure. He made sure. And yet, you're telling me it took that long to arrest him?
Well, you know what, Unique? This isn't surprising. Let's go
Hmm.
back. Let's go back to the Dylan Roof situation, huh?
Okay. Okay.
Remember, Dylan Roof went in there, and Black people, we're just so loving and caring. We just welcomed him in. Then he shot the
Hmm.
church up, and then they handled him with kid gloves afterwards,
They
uh,
did. They
walking
did.
him, walking him gently out of the church into the police car, took him to get something to eat, and he done murdered. You want to talk about terrorism? The white boy done murdered a black a church full of Black
Families.
people. Yeah,
Families. Literally.
and we can't expect for the media to deliver stories in our favor. That's why
Hmm.
I think it's important for us to have our own media. That's why podcasts like this are important, and just different shows created by Black people to put the actual factuals out there. Because if we
I
depend on, go ahead.
no. I want to say I'm glad you said that because Sean King reviving
Yeah,
the North Star,
yeah,
which
yeah.
was started by Frederick Douglass. And like those are the kind of things, and Black media period outlets like our girl J Berry right here, just people who
Jay
are
Berry.
trying to get, just people who are trying to get, the things that are important to us, and not just gossip. It can't just always be gossip
Yeah,
sites. People who are really, really, really trying to get things in order together so that they work. And that is what is important. Um,
absolutely.
Also, speaking of Sean King, this morning he posted where two black boys were beat outside of a McDonald's where they
Mm.
had went after school, and neither one of them were aggressive. Neither one of them had weapons. They charged a young man with assault of
The
a
what?
police officer,
How? And he got
but
beat up.
he got beat up, face bloody and everything. He actually bent over to pick up a cell phone that his friend dropped and put it in a bag, and the officer attacked him.
Mm.
Had him on the sidewalk, bloody face, zip tied behind his arms, zip tied behind his back. However, we are charging kids and we're treating kids, and that goes back to what you said about Dylan Roof, how they treated him so fragilely and
Mm-hmm.
walked him out of after burning this. They walked him out, and oh, let me watch your head getting in the car. But we're attacking our youth, and then you wonder why they're angry. You wonder why they respond the way that they do. You wonder why they're defensive. You have to realize that in today's society is making them this way.
Mm-hmm.
Society is making it so that they can't go around and, feel safe. They're always on guard. I'm always looking out. Oh, are they staring at me? What do they think I did? I'm not even doing nothing. So now I'm on the defense
Mm.
because society is honestly putting it out there, putting you in a situation where you always have to be defensive. And I think as a mother of a young boy,
Mm.
it's sad because it's only going to get worse as he gets older. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying?
Oh man, I get
So,
it.
so what do we do? And they talk about a fear of black men, but we also have black men killing black men.
Mm.
So the thing is, when we have one enemy that's against us and, you know,
Trying to
basically
wipe us out.
attacking us,
Yeah.
right, then why do we attack one another?
Mm.
Why? What's the purpose?
I think we have to
Hey,
unlearn.
Yadzola. I think I pronounced that right.
Yeah. I think we need to unlearn a lot of things that we were taught.
In what way?
Well, we were taught that you know what white people are. You want to dress up, and you want to go on your interview, and I'm all over the place, but I'm just saying a
No,
bunch
no,
of
no.
things.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just we were taught that the white man is our savior. We were
Mm,
taught that he's the authority, he's the law.
mm,
So when you see him,
mm,
you get upright. That's why. Think about this. That's why when we deal with each other, a lot of times it's no respect there. We don't value each other. But when we deal with that white man, it's oh yes sir. It's some respect there. So I think we should respect everybody. I think that's important too. We should respect everybody, but we should teach our people to have more respect for each other.
mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, if it ever comes down to something, I know that Unique's gonna have my back. I would expect Unique to have my back more than I expect this person of another culture to have my back
Right.
because you understand my
Absolutely.
struggle.
Right.
Um,
Agreed.
I mean, so I think we need to learn respect for not only all people but us,
Yeah.
and I think we need to really discuss a value system when it comes to us. Value. Now, when we go back to the Remy Ma situation, I'm just touching on that in
Go
value.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I value my freedom more than I value that $1,000, so I'm gonna let you make it.
Right.
Value. I value. Not only do I value my life, no, 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 no. Because I value my life, I'm not gonna take your life
Your life. I agree.
because I
Absolutely.
understand that
Absolutely.
if I take your life, if I take another black person's life, even though the police may not care, they may not care to investigate you or whatever,
Right.
you may have people who care about you that know
Right.
I did it, so now
Right.
my life is in danger.
Is in danger. Right.
So I think if we just unlearn a lot of the foolishness that we learned to think that other cultures were above us, and we
Mm-hmm.
just kind of focus on respect and value
Mm-hmm.
for a period of time, I think that we can change the way we deal with things, at least when it comes to each other.
Agreed.
Because that's important. Because
Right.
once we get ourselves right, then we can go out and start kind of mobilizing and getting things together. I heard Farrakhan say when you're sick,
Hmm.
you kind of need to be quarantined. You kind of need to go deal with yourself, get yourself well before you can get back out here with the people.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
as of right now, as black people, as a whole, we kind of have a sick mindset that we need to take care of
Hmm.
before we could go out and deal with everybody else. I cringe. This is why I can't watch, and I know I'm all over the place, but go with me. This is why I can't watch, like, the love and hip hops and all. I used to watch that religiously, but
I know.
I can't watch that. I can't watch certain movies that's about black people killing each other and all. I cringe because that's not my reality. That's no longer how I view us. You
But you
know,
know
my
what?
mhm.
You have to realize it's not all of their reality either. The problem is we've become a culture that is money driven, and there's nothing wrong with money. The question
Mm,
is, what are you willing to do for that money?
that's
Sometimes
important.
there's something wrong with what you're willing to do for that money, and I get what you're saying, but that's what sells.
And and
It's what sells.
and that's a
Period.
problem. That's a problem.
I
Um,
agree.
Unique. You remember the movie Django?
Django, yeah.
Yes, it's this very uncomfortable scene in this movie, right? And I'm gonna relate this to what we're talking about now. Um, there was this scene in Django where you had these two black men fighting each other, fighting each other till the death, and you had these white
Hmm.
slave owners just sitting on the couch, just watching and rooting them on. And
Right.
then when the black man that was losing was near death, the white slave owner gave him a hammer to kill the black man and finish him off. Okay.
Okay.
Now, when we look at these shows that's happening now, like your love and hip hops and all that, that's how I look at it.
But
White
I
people
want you,
are.
wait. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to go back because
Mm-hmm.
if you go back to, and you majored in English just like me,
Mm-hmm.
Roman literature, Roman history, they fought in the arenas. Then they started bringing in black men, which were killing off the white men that they thought were the strongest and the best fighters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you fast forward to slave culture, we had all these black men killing off those white men. So I'm
Mm.
gonna come and I'm gonna dominate America. Hi, and instead of carrying on that culture, why don't I do myself one better? I'm gonna put you against him. The question
Absolutely.
is,
Yeah.
I mean, I want you to think about it. Think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
if we go back historically, I'm gonna put you against him, right?
Yeah.
And once I do that, the question is, when do we stop and realize that we didn't do this to ourselves? Like you said, there are a lot of things that we have to unlearn, and these are things that have happened that need to be unlearned.
Absolutely.
Period.
But you know what? It's hard. It's hard to go back and think about when did we do this to ourselves when that money's still coming. Cause see,
Mm,
that money will cloud your judgment.
it
When
will.
that money's coming, you're just thinking, man, I gotta continue to get this money while it's good. I don't have time to go think about why I'm in this position and who I'm hurting. I'm getting money and my family's eating. But while my family's eating, there's
So
millions of
true.
families suffering.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So that gives me another point. We need to so not only do we need to focus on respect and figure out a value system, but we need to work on unification too. What
You
do I
know,
mean?
it was something. Did you watch Steve Harvey and Monique?
I caught the clip. It was on Facebook or something like that.
Okay, if you notice, Steve Harvey said, "What am I supposed to do? My family is eating. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm
Mm.
working." And what did Monique say? At
What did
what
move?
cost?
Yes. Yes.
At what cost? Where's the integrity?
Yes.
So you
Yeah,
working hard,
integrity is
okay?
important.
You working hard, okay? Okay, yeah. But I mean, if you die today, they still gotta find a way to eat. So you have to get that mentality of there's nothing wrong. Let me say it because I do it and I know you do it. I work hard for my family.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Point blank. No things about it. However, like the old folks used to say, all money ain't good money.
Absolutely.
Period. So at what point do we start using these shows and these platforms which have built all these viewers to uplift instead of always tear down?
Mm. But you know what, Unique, and you have an amazing point. Unfortunately, that doesn't sell because Negroes not interested in that. Think, think about this, Unique.
But we can be. I think that the death of Nipsey Hussle really proved that we can be. We can.
Um,
People
uh,
unified. People have unified.
absolutely,
And you
absolutely.
got Cardi B and Offset buying. People are buying property, and they're saying hashtag the marathon continues. I think it needs to continue on film, but
Absolutely.
I do agree. I think Tammy Roman, she was trying to do a show, a reality show at one point with just her family, and she said people didn't want to watch it
Yeah, they
because
they
I'm
want
not
to.
fighting, I'm not getting drunk, I'm not. So, and it's about the drama, but why does the drama have to hurt?
That's
Why
what
does it have to make us look crazy?
that's what I'm saying. Unique. If she was throwing drinks in Evelyn's face and all that, that show would have been on. That would have been a
And
hit and
that's
still
and
been
that's
on
what
now.
she said. But see, if you remember, and I know you do, the original Love and Hip Hop. Do you know the reason that Chrissy and Jim Jones left?
Yeah,
Because you got us looking crazy.
yeah,
I'm not gonna do it.
yeah.
Love and Hip Hop Houston. The reason that Paul Wall and
Mm.
who else wife? You got people like Paul Wall's wife and Bun B Queenie, Bun B's wife. They said, no, we're not doing all that. You're not gonna have us. They already think we talk slow in the South. You ain't gonna have us
Yeah,
looking like who did and what for. It ain't gonna happen. Period. So, and you also have to realize that Chrissy and Jim Jones spoke out because, once again, the white people would instigate. A lot of those things on Love and Hip Hop, the producers come and they set up situations. Oh,
yeah,
this was said, oh, they over here right now. And then we fall for it.
yeah.
We got to stop tripping over our own feet.
That's good. That's good. That's important. That's important. And then it's another thing. I heard you mention like Bun B, Paul Wall, Jim Jones. Those are
Hmm.
OGs.
True,
They've been in the
true.
game long enough to understand, man, I'm not finna let them play me like that. Now,
Hmm.
as OGs, we have to get to the young ones and be like, hey, they trying to play you, man.
Chill out with that. Yeah.
Now some of us do it, but the young people don't listen. Man, I'm finna get this money.
Hmm.
But the OGs understand, like, hey, fam, you gonna look crazy. Are you gonna be able to look yourself in the mirror years from now? That goes back to integrity. Integrity is important. That's why,
I agree.
yeah. When Monique was saying her own, my thing is integrity. If you give me $1 million, but you say I'm gonna give you this $1 million, but you have to, destroy black people, I'm cool. I can't. That million's not gonna be worth it to me.
Right.
But man, whoo, fire. Man, another fire conversation with my partner Unique B, man. Ever since you got on this show has gotten 10 times better, Unique. But we
Look,
gonna, yeah, yeah.
I ain't even got my drink this morning. I got Anita back here.
You got Anika back here doing the hair for
Yeah,
Easter
that's what I'm
Sunday.
saying.
Man, look, check this out. Unique, before we get up out of here, plug whatever you got going on and we gonna roll.
All right. As always, you can check me out, the Broke Bitch Podcast. Follow me at Broke Bitch BTCH18 on Instagram and Unique B on YouTube. And I got some more recordings that are coming out. And then the Broke Bitch series should be out in another 2 weeks. So there we go.
Oh, we got the broke. B series coming out. Nigga. You know what? I almost said the word. But we got the series coming, man. Check this out, y'all. Grab my book, Defeating the Struggle, Journal Entries of a Conqueror. That thing is available on Amazon right now. All the information, Unique's information going to be in the information box. Mine going to be in the information box. Hey, man, y'all mucho, take it easy. Bread Tuck Legacy Podcast, H-Town all day. All right, Unique, good.
All right, Puff.